Record. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Serenity Cards and Coaching. This week we are featuring the Serenity Kit. It's a kit that I put together and sell, and it's featuring Happiness Abounds, which is, oh my goodness, you will see this more than once from me. I love roses. I love the sayings. I love happiness. I love the font. I love the paper. Like, truly, I love it all. So, we are going to have some fun with it today. And what are we doing? I sell a kit every month. It's called a Serenity Kit. And so I'm going to show you how to make the 5 cards in the kit, but I'm also going to show you a lot of other examples. And so why don't we go ahead and get started? And I'm just making this kit available so you can order it, and I'll give you that ordering information as well. So here's a couple samples first, and then here's the cards that we're going to make. So I got some of these in a swap. Sometimes I saved the person's name and sometimes I didn't, but this is the designer series paper, and this is the font, Happy Birthday. And so isn't that a fun fold? We're going to do this fold at bingo, actually. So stay tuned for that fold. But anyway, that's a sample card with Happiness Abounds. You've seen a couple of these already. These are the stamps and colored with the in color. So those are a couple samples with Happiness Abounds. This is a card I got from Melody for my birthday. Same thing. And look at how she did that rose. She kind of colored it with daffodil and then it's like a peace rose, like a little pop of pink inside. And then a fun little happy birthday. So many different ways that you can use these products, the stamps, the designer series paper, the dies. And so actually let's take a moment on the product and then we'll hop right into the kit. So the product itself, you get a number of different dies, and in my kit you will get one where I've used that. Oh my goodness, how do you use that thing? One where you've used this like little notebook. There's a number of little roses and leaves and flowers cut out. Now, I did leave some of the scraps here to let you know if you get the kit from me, even though you're going to get half a pack of designer series paper, and it is luscious, I am going to have to put into it to cut out some of the roses. And so I'll show you some of those pieces. And then I've got some other die cuts I'm featuring in the kit as well. This Bouquet of Love hybrid, I know Doris has it. I know, Linda, you've asked about it. It's $14.50. It's still available. It's retiring. It's available. It's $14.50. And what you get is this die, and there's a number of dies and this embossing folder, but we're going to use this in the kit. So all of these things are in your kit, by the way. We're going to use Pretty Flowers, embossing folder, color and contour, and then these new stitched shapes. So those are, many of those were happiness dies. And then I've showed you the happiness stamps. In your kit, you're going to get half a pack of this designer series paper. So that's 2 sheets of each of these. And so I don't have it, you'll see it as we go through it too, because we're going to use it all. So those are the couple sides of it, but 2 6x12 sheets of each. But let me show you what I meant. Like in some cases I have to cut into it in order to do the dies. So where I can, I'll strategically cut around. Now, if you have the dies and you don't want me to do the die cutting, let me know. And then I won't cut into your paper and you can just do that on your own. And if you don't have the dies and you get the kit and you want to copy it, you could very easily fussy cut these. So anyway, you get half a pack of designer paper, half a pack of gems, and you got 7.5 inches, nope, 7.5 feet of 3 different ribbons. This guy's on sale. This Daffodil Delight's on sale, so I was able to grab it easily for you. The Pool Party and the Organdy ribbon. So you get 7.5 feet of each of those, and some extra little designer series paper. One of the cards is going to use this brushstroke paper. You would have seen that at our last bingo. And then here's that die. So let's go ahead and get started. That's the kit, and you go to lilamikey.com, stamping, to order the kit. And I will just show you some of the cards and how to make them. Now this one, I'm just going to start out. This is the hardest one. You are going to get close-up pictures and you're going to get a custom video because this on its own is a whole technique. This would take at least half an hour to describe to you how I did that fold and how I did that. I did show you guys this at the team meeting last time, but I've got some corrections to what I showed you. So I'll do a special video about that. But that's one of the cards that you get. And what you're going to get in the kit, you're going to get the shimmer paper. And then that's white embossing powder.
It's so beautiful.
And then that's the aqua painter. And it's just, there's so many different ways. What I love to do in the kits, thank you. What I love to do in the kits is show you guys different ways to color and to do different things with them. So that's going to be a super duper wow. You'll get ingredients for that.
I just did one of those. I just did a card today with all of this and used shimmer paper and my water painter and these dies. God,
aren't they?
I'm at the right place.
Are you showing? Should I show you?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Oh, should I show you, Terry? Are you showing your cards? All right, I'm gonna.
You haven't seen this one.
I'm gonna keep going. Sorry, I didn't hear you, but Terry, I love your cards. I bet they're fantastically beautiful. Oh my goodness. We're gonna go ahead and get started with card one that's in the kit. And I've already, because we only have up to an hour together, I've stamped and assembled a couple things, but basically you will get this. This is that hybrid folder that I told you that's $14.50. So you'll get that. And then we just pop it on with a little bit of glue. So that's super simple, Simon. And then the matching heart. Now this design, I will tell you straight up, this design is by a designer that I follow and love. Her name is Sue Mohr, M-O-H-R. But I just kept coming back to it and kept coming back to the simplicity and the beauty of it. And so I'm giving you guys 5 cards, and my hope is that they're getting a little bit simpler to make, but they're still just amazingly wow. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this. Now this is one of the piece of papers, this particular cut, and I did follow the way she cut it because I just love like what she cropped in on. It's kind of in the middle of the piece of paper, but it just kind of had all the colors and it just was a beautiful composition. So we are going to cover up that little heart in the middle right there. And we're just going to place him right in the center like that. So I just, oh my gosh, I love roses. It's just so stunning. So that's that guy. So then you get just a couple other ingredients. You're going to get a flower and a leaf. Who can tell me what dyes this flower and this leaf is from? It's not from happiness. Who can tell me what it's from? It's from
layering flowers.
These two.
I'm
right?
thinking it's from poppies.
Ooh, that'd be a good
Layering
guess.
flowers? No.
It's hand penned.
Hand penned.
Hand penned. Oh.
Hand penned. And you know what? For those of you that got it, I like to just show you that, it's not just for the cards that we do that month. Like they are evergreen. We can use them forever. And so they're going to work perfectly just in this card right here. Now, I could either I'm going to give you both of these dies. Happy birthday. That's in the happiness abounds. And you are wonderful in every way. For today, I'm going to do you are wonderful in every way. But you can pick either one of those. I like to give you 2. Maybe you make a boo-boo on one of them. Of course, you could turn it over. Maybe your sentiment, you're going to want to pick just the right size sentiment. But in any event, I'm going to put that there. I'm going to center it. I'd already stamped it. I stamped it in our Memento Black. And then I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of glue behind each of these hand-penned flowers. I'm going to tuck them right in, just right there for just a little pop of color. And I'm going to put just a little bit of a leaf in there for a little pop of color. And you guys, that is as simple as this card is and just as sweet as could be. So that's card number 1.
What a beautiful card.
Thank you. And if you want to get this folder, 1450, and it's still available. I can't even believe it. It was out of stock for the longest time, and now it's back. So, all right, that's card 1. Card 2, you guys will have seen at bingo. If you came to bingo when we were going through the specialty papers, you may remember Pam was our guest designer. She designed a number of cards for us to see, and she said I could use this one in my kit. So we get to use it. So you're going to get all the ingredients. You're going to get the Night of Navy cardstock. Oh, you're going to get the Night of Navy cardstock. This brushstroke paper, you're going to get it just cut just right to size. So that's Night of Navy soft succulent, actually, that brushstroke paper. And then you're going to get 3 flowers cut and a couple of the leaves. And then you'll get some cardstock that you can stamp a sentiment. So this is sending many thanks for all you do. And I'm going to put that on first. And I'm just going to glue it. I'm not going to dimensional it this time. I stamped that. So mint macaron and soft succulent are very, very, very close to each other. So even though this is soft succulent, these are done in mint macaron. But honestly, you could probably even use a little bit of pool party. We're going to use that in here as well. And then we're just going to kind of build our floral arrangement around this. And I'm going to do it all flat. So I'm going to put our big flower in the center right there. I'm going to put this one right here. I'm going to put this one kind of in the corner up here. And you'll get pictures and close-ups and instructions in the PDF so you can follow right along. So I'm going to put that guy right there. I think I'm going to pop this guy on a dimensional. I've been not using as many dimensionals for mailing lately, so I'm kind of hit or miss on that. But I think I'm going to pop that guy right there for just a little bit of interest. And we can tuck in our leaves just behind the scenes. And we'll tuck a little leaf right there. And we'll tuck a little leaf up here. So we've got that, and you can play around to get just the arrangement that you like, but I think I like that arrangement just right like that. And then you can put your ribbon anywhere that you want to. I think I'll put mine off to the side. I am deviating from Pam's design a little bit because I'm giving you guys a little bit different product than what she featured. I love this pool party ribbon, and I think it just matches the product so nicely. So I've just got that little ribbon off to the side, and that's our next card. So sending many thanks for all you do. So sweet little card with the specialty paper. So that's card number 2.
Pretty, pretty, pretty.
Thank you. And then you guys will get those die cuts, but you could very easily do this same card yourself with the designer series paper. Fussy cut it or get the dies yourself.
Leland, what you said you varied it a little bit. What did Pam do that was different?
I will show you
remember that
that I'll still send you the bingo PDF, but I can tell you what she did. She had a different flower up here. I don't think she dimensionaled that. And instead of this ribbon, she had an in color ribbon underneath. So I can send you that.
Oh, I'm just curious.
Yeah, those are
Very pretty.
Those are the couple differences. So, so there you go. That's card number 3. Now let's go to card number 4. Card number 4 is my design, and I based it on this. Now this is not Happiness Abounds. This is, oh gosh, this was by Wanda Williams, and I don't think she specified, I don't think I know which stamp set that is. Is that Cottage Rose? I'm not sure. But I took this as inspiration. These are certainly our gems, though. These are the gems from Happiness Abounds. So I took this as inspiration, and this is the card that's going to have the coloring technique that I just learned recently. So happy to share it with you. So I did fresh freesia instead. So, and I did the pretty flowers embossing folder instead. So I got fresh freesia and pretty flowers. I always give you a nice liner for the inside. And then instead of doing very vanilla, I did the basic white. I've already started the coloring, but who, can you guys see the shimmer right there?
Yes. Did you put Wink-of-Stella on it?
I put Wink-of-Stella, but wait, I didn't just put Wink-of-Stella. I colored with Wink-of-Stella. What? So, this is the
Ah,
what? So this is the first time I've ever done this. So, I am keeping an eye on my Wink-of-Stella brush to see that, is it all gummed up or is it all full of color or whatever. But basically I'm taking, you can either take your silicone mat or you can take a block. You get your Wink-of-Stella. I'm going to kind of just clean it off to the side, and you just come in here with your Wink-of-Stella paintbrush. And I started at the edge. It was a little darker on the edge, and I'm just doing tiny little brush strokes, so I'm not going outside of it. And I kind of wanted darker on the edges, so I went around the edge until it started getting a little bit lighter, and then I'm coming in and coming a little bit lighter as I go into the center. And so that is
that's
how
great. You know what?
I
That would be excellent for like dragonfly wings.
Oh, I mean, it's so applicable to so many things, right? So I colored that all with fresh freesia. Now, Judy, I know you're here, and I know I'm pretty sure you have fresh freesia, but I also know that you just bought all those markers, right? So let's see what would happen if I took, and I don't know this, so now we're going into uncharted territory. So what if I didn't have the ink pad? But I had the Stampin' Write marker. This is not a blend. The blend is different. Blend is alcohol. Stampin' Write. Stampin' Write is basically a stamp pad in a marker, right? But it's
Is
going to
it
be
water-based?
it's water-based. It's going to be a little bit lighter, right? I mean, you can tell right here. I've colored quite a bit here, and the ink pad is darker and the marker is a little bit lighter. But I'm not going to do it on this because I've already colored everything, but let's just take a little scrap. You would think I would have a little scrap. Well, I'm going to sacrifice this guy even though he's got a purpose. So I'm going to clean off my Wink-of-Stella, which I think is just a good idea. And now I'm going to come in with this marker and see how that goes. So let's just see. Yeah, you know what?
That works.
It works. So give that a try. If you don't have the ink pad, but you have the Stampin' Write markers, give it a try to use it instead. And again, you can use different things with that as well. You could also use the blending pen with either of those as well to get a colored effect. So anyway, I think it works. So there you go. You can color that in fresh freesia. I can come in with a little bit of granny apple green, or I could come in with maybe some pear pizzazz. Color that guy. Why don't I do that? Why don't I just do,
Soft succulent too would be pretty.
Oh, soft succulent. All right, I'll do it. Why don't we do soft succulent? I hope it's not too dark. Let's give that a try.
Yeah.
So let's, you know what, I think it might be. So
Yeah.
let me do maybe pool party. Let's try that.
Yeah, pear pizzazz is lighter. They're both pretty though.
Yeah, let me just do, I think soft succulent kind of surprises us, right? But let me just come in with some pear pizzazz. I don't like it, I can just redo it, right? I can just, because I've got the supplies here, but let's just see. Let's just color with a little bit of
That's
hair.
Pear Pizzazz.
Oops, this is Pool Party, sorry. It's Pool Party because I like Pool Party.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it would be lighter, but it's still pretty dark as well. So yeah, so, and again, now I've got to be really careful coming in here, right, with this kind of brush. I want to go really slow. Now the ink pad I'm using here is Memento Black. And there we go. So I think that works okay. So now I can pop that on the front. Now, let's say you don't have the Happiness Bounds flower. I was looking at hand pens and I thought hand penned would work perfectly as well, to just stamp the hand penned on it and just put it right there. I thought hand penned would look good too. So I'm going to put this on some dimensional. So really, I mean, any flower, right? That you just can't go wrong. Even though I love these Happiness roses. I'm doing this because my card front is still wet, so I hope I'm pretty centered. Normally I'd let it dry and come back and put them on the back, but let me do that. Let me get it centered. And then you get 7.5 feet of organdy ribbon in the kit. And I thought I would just put a little organdy ribbon right there when it dries. So that's this card. Totally doable and a fun coloring technique. Coloring with your
Very
Wink-of-Stella.
pretty.
Very pretty.
Yeah, there you go. And then I just recommend, I chose a lighter color, not a darker color. I recommend that you do clean off your Wink-of-Stella brush. It'll probably be okay. I took one that was a little bit older. So anytime you're experimenting, and I will tell you straight out, this is an experiment. I haven't done this before. But it's looking like it's pretty safe to have done that. So I'm going to put these off to the side so that they do not make a mess. Let me get these off to the side. And again, you guys, you can take, so I've been participating in some swaps while I'm doing my reorg and just had opportunity to participate in some swaps. So you can take a card that you get and very easily leverage the design, right? I changed the color because I thought a lot more you might have the fresh freesia to color with. And I didn't do the die cut. So I changed it a little bit. I did the leaves a little different direction. So you can,
Is
Do
the
rearrange.
you
other one,
know what stamp set the bright happy birthday came from? I love that font too.
I don't know where this came from,
Hmm.
but I can take a look. I know that it's current because it's just a swap I just got, so I can look that up. And then what was the
isn't
other question?
I wanted to know, on the dark pink one there, on what is that? Sorbet?
I think this is Melon Mambo.
I can't tell with anyways, is the
Melon
embossing,
Mambo.
okay, is the embossing folder artistically yours from the artistic one?
This is the artistic, that's the artistic,
Yeah.
that's the one that's like the painted background, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
And
wanted
then
to know.
that's very vanilla. And then she colored the inside, yellow, and then she did blends. And so like darker on the inside. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Nice, okay.
yeah.
I love both of them.
Great, thank you. I'm just gonna pop this on with a.
Would you put any gems on yours, or do you think the shimmer from the flower is enough for the sparkle on yours?
So you know what? The gems, I haven't done gems, have I? So let's take a look. I think that the gems match the Mambo card more. The gems, even though I did it with Happiness, the four colors.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's needed. I was just
The
wanted to
four
hear your
colors
opinion.
of the gems are more bright. They're like grape, mambo, daffodil.
Oh yeah, not those.
Yeah, those are the gems that come with the kit. Those are the gems that go with Happiness. So if you wanted to do that, you could do some rhinestones or some pearls or something a little subtler. I probably would put
Yeah, maybe a pearl,
there.
huh?
Yeah, I would put a couple up there for just a little bit of interest. I think that's a good idea. So there you go, just two different looks. Same sketch, right? And then of course, that's our beloved color and contour, which we get so much life out of,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah. All right, so now final card in the kit. The final card in the kit is using, have you guys seen that notebook die? So it's this die right here, and it makes it look like a notebook page. So you run it right along the edge. And so the sample on the cover of the catalog actually makes it look like a notebook. So I decided to do something in Daffodil Delight, and I've got the Night of Navy Designer Series paper. And so I'll color this a little bit for you, but you're going to get the Daffodil Delight, the Designer Series paper, which you cut yourself. You're going to get a piece of paper like this with the notebook edge, and then you can stamp what you want on it. But that's just a fun little look. We'll get it colored in, wishing all the happiness you can imagine. And then there's a little bit of Daffodil Delight right there. And then once we get it colored, you're going to get some Daffodil Delight ribbon and just pop in a little bow right there. So when I started, and then you get the inside liner. So when I started practicing, so let me show you what I did here, and then we'll color ours. I'm actually going to color in blends, but let me just give a note on coloring since there's so many opportunities. So this right here was the coloring with the Wink-of-Stella, and I loved it so much. Then I decided to go do it in the Freesia. Same thing, this is Mambo with the Wink-of-Stella, and I wasn't trying to be perfect. You can see it's a little bit blotchy and darker in areas. I was really just playing with it. So that's one coloring option when you go to stamping color. Now this leaf here, who can tell me what the leaf was done in? It wasn't done with the Wink-of-Stella. Who can tell me what the leaf was colored with?
Is that
Looks like
Granny
blend.
Apple?
Those are blends, Granny Apple and Light Old Olive. Yep, so it's blends. So that's something you can do. Now over here, who can tell me what I used right there to color?
Is that Pale Papaya blend?
Well,
Watercolor. Were you
I use
watercolor?
watercolor. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, I was trying to ask the technique. Sorry, my question wasn't precise.
Oh,
Watercolor technique. It's all Daffodil Delight.
mm,
Watercolor technique. So what do we know about watercolor? We know with watercolor, we don't use Memento Black. We use Stays On. So I was playing with a number of different coloring techniques. So I used this guy.
mm.
And Judy, I was playing with, should I use the marker? That very possibly could have been the marker, actually. Could I use the marker? Should I use the re-inker? Should I use the ink pad smushed onto a block? I think that was the marker, so it's so light. But then I used the aqua painter with water, and you can just tell it smears the black. It's a very diluted look. So we want to make sure that we're using the right black ink with what we're doing. So don't use Memento with this guy, use Stays On. And then this final one over here, you may or may not be able to guess, but that coloring technique, I used the blender pen with the Daffodil Delight. So you can use this with Memento, and you can use this with the classic ink, right? So a number of different ways that you can color this flower. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time. I won't sit here coloring the whole time, but I'm actually going to do my flower in blends if I can find it. And the idea is I'm going to do this in kind of a Granny Apple green. I'm going to match the papers that are in here. So the colors, so Granny Apple green, this is going to be Daffodil Delight. It's going to be a little bit of Melon Mambo. You could also use colored pencils if you wanted, right? So you could use any of the different. Now, to use the marker itself, Judy, you might be wondering what happens if I just want to color straight with the marker. I'll show you that on the old one, actually. So if I
And
want
you
to
use Memento, huh?
this is Memento, yep. So if I want to color just with the marker itself, then I'll come in and do this. This is, and you know what, these markers, oh gosh, this marker is very, very old. Is this Daffodil? Yeah, this is very, very old. So that's not even going to give a good example of it. Don't even pay attention to that. Maybe let me pick one that's fresher. My polished pink is fresher. So let me take my polished pink and show you what it would look like to color with the marker. So if I want to color with the marker, that's coloring with the marker. You could actually do this design with the marker because it's got enough space, but you can't shade. It's only going to be one color. That's different than like if you're using a blend. If you're using a blend, you have the opportunity to just do some different, like I'll
So will the color lifter from the blends work with the markers or not?
no, it won't.
Oh,
So the blends just are a little lighter, and you can have a little bit of a,
I have a suggestion.
yeah.
If you're using the markers and you want to not get a flat look, for example, that's a very good example there of using yellow first, then putting down some color and then going in with maybe a little variation so that you can, have dimension.
So you're saying, I'll just do it here. Well, I'll do it on the leaf. So you're saying put the yellow here. And again, this is this is probably, oh, this could be from
Will
2007.
the other side work?
No, this could be from 2007, you guys. That's probably how, like, I'm not kidding. That's probably when I got them. But let's say there's that, right? So now you're saying come in with this guy, Terry?
Yeah, I mean, the closer it is to that color that you start with, the more, well, yeah, you're going to see some variation because, you're going to go from like light to dark.
So let's do, say, polished pink and then mambo. So that's, I think, what you're saying. And again, very old markers. But I think I'm hearing you say you can use the Stampin' Write markers
yeah,
Yeah,
you
like
still
if
get
you
kind
want
of shading look.
with a
shading.
similar effect. But you're still just, this is a great example. See that stark line right there? You're not going to really be able to blend that out the same way that you would with the blends. So great. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, there's so many, I was trying to think like there's so many different ways to color, so I don't want to confuse you. The two that we're doing is one, should you care to, you can do the Wink-of-Stella with just some of the stamp pad ink on a block, right? And then this one, you could do blends. But if you don't have blends, or if you don't have the colors in blends, there are other alternatives, and I'm happy to show those too. So I'll just show you a couple little things. I won't do this whole thing because honestly, I think it would probably take me about half an hour to really color this and get it exactly how I want it. So I'll just show you. I'm coming in here. I'm pretty sure this is light granny apple green, which matches the, yep, that's light granny apple green. And then I'm coming in hopefully with light old olive. No, that's dark old olive. Just like a color that's just a little, oh, this is light meadow. You know what, I'll go with that because mossy meadow's in the paper as well. So I just want to have just a little bit of a line right there of the mossy meadow, just to give a little bit of a hint. And then I'm going to come back in and blend. So this is where I can break up the line a little bit. So I'm coming from the mossy meadow into the granny apple green, and I'm trying to break up that color so it's not such a stark line. But I'm not going all the way to the edge so that when it dries, you can see that there's a like kind of a gradated, you can see it's a little bit dark and then a little bit lighter and then a little bit lighter. So that's probably how I'll do those two leaves there. And then for the flower, I want to do it all in Daffodil Delight. So I'm going to color the middle in Daffodil Delight, and I'm just using my big tip right there. So So that's all in Daffodil Delight. And this is the light Daffodil Delight. And now I'm going to go on the edges with the dark Daffodil Delight. If I wanted to, I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could follow along looking at one of these flowers here. I'm not going to follow that exactly. I'm going to do kind of a dark edge and then come in and go a little bit lighter. But I'll just do one of the petals there for you. So I'm going to go a little bit dark on the outside, and then I'll come in and I'll pull a little bit lighter. You could also use colored pencils. That would be something we would do on another day. You could also use ink with these blender pens, but we're just going to come in with a little bit lighter Daffodil Delight. And I feel like that tip still feels a little too dark for me. So I'm going over it with my light Daffodil Delight. I'm trying to pull some of
I
that
can't really
darkness
see what you're
down.
doing until afterwards because your hand is in the way.
Oh, let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Thank you, Linda. So I've colored the tip dark, Daffodil Delight. I've colored the inside a little bit lighter. I feel like that's a little still too stark. So what I was doing was I was going in a motion, like pulling the dark into the light, because it will pull, it will stroke, but it still wasn't. So now I'm going to come in with my blender pen and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of do a pulling motion to kind of pull some of that dark out because I feel like it's a little too dark. So let's see if we see a difference after that. So I'm just kind of pulling the color because alcohol moves. That's the idea that I'm doing there. So I was pulling the color down. So it's a little bit more not as stark of a difference. So that's what I'm doing there. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green to color my stem. Just right here. And I'm going to do this guy in Melon Mambo, but you know what? I want to do the inside just a little bit yellow. So I'm just going to color these stamens in the light Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to kind of put that in the middle there just for a little bit of color. And then I'm going to come over and get, let's, you know what? I'm going to pull, I think I'm going to pull this guy. I'm going to do Flamingo instead. So now I'm going to come in with a dark edge.
What color is that?
This is dark Flirty Flamingo.
Oh,
I
okay.
looked at the Melon Mambo and it just looked too dark to me. So I feel like I'm not going to do that. So I was using the brush end, but if I go to the very edge with the brush end, it's going to go beyond. So now I'm using the nib and I'm coming in with the nib. And I'm still not going all the way to the edge, but I'm getting a little bit closer. And I'm going to color that. This is, what did I say? It's dark Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to kind of go around the edge with dark Flirty Flamingo. And then I'll come in with some light Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to pull it. So if you can see what I'm doing, I'm pulling in the color. I'm pulling in the color. So I did the big brush end, and now I'm going to come in with the smaller end. And I'm really working on where there's those two edges combined so that I can really get a unified look. And honestly, I may need to come back a couple times. This one right here is starting to give the look that I like. These others, I want to work them a little bit more. I might come in with my blender and lighten them a little bit because I really want a graduated effect. But I'm going to do that guy in Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to do that guy in Daffodil Delight. I'm going to do my leaves in Granny Apple Green. And then you guys are getting this ruched ribbon. You guys, I mean, I just got it. It was on clearance. So I just got you guys a quarter of a roll. And I'm gonna pop that little ribbon right there. And I think I'll pop a couple of the gems on, and that'll be that little guy. So that is our final card for today. And that is our kit. So I'll get these finished up and photographed, and I'll get this kit information available to you guys, but that's our happiness kit this month. So so there you go. So you guys, thank you for joining. And if you
Very nice, Lita.
Thank you. Lovely
Thank you.
cards.
Leela, that one flower is from Abigail Rose.
Oh, thank you, Abigail Rose. Thank you.
Yeah.
Melon Mambo. Thank you. Awesome. So I'll be sending information out about the kit, and thanks so much for joining today. All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.